Welcome along to this rugby obsession deep dive.
Well, great to be here.
Today, we're taking a really fascinating look, I think, into the future planning, the sort of player management strategies of the Springboks.
Hmm.
We're digging into an article by Jared Wright over on Planet Rugby. It's titled, Springboks Coaches Don't Have the Right to Retire Players as Plans to Avoid Dark Period, detailed by Siya Kolisi. Quite a title.
It is. And Planet Rugby, it's a great source for anyone wanting the bigger picture. They cover, all the big teams in South Africa, the All Blacks, England, France,
Right.
plus the top leagues, Premiership, URC, Super Rugby,
Yeah.
and of course the World Cup, Six Nations, Lions tours. They've got it all covered.
Yeah, really comprehensive. And our mission today really is to unpack how the Springboks, these back-to-back world champs, are trying to build, sustained success, not just winning the next game.
This is about the long haul.
Exactly. What does this mean for their legendary players, for the team's future? It's pretty impressive foresight.
It really is.
So before we get properly stuck in, just a quick reminder, make sure you hit subscribe on Rugby Obsession so you don't miss any of these insights from the rugby world.
Definitely worth doing.
Okay, so building for the future. But where do the big names, the legends, fit in? Well, it seems to start with Siya Kolisi himself.
Yeah, the captain.
The article highlights his personal goal. He wants to be in the mix for the 2027 World Cup in Australia.
Which is quite something. He'll be 36 by then.
36, he's 34 now, and apparently he'd sort of considered maybe finishing up after 2023.
Right, he'd adjusted those plans.
So is this just Kolisi, pushing his own limits, or is there something bigger at play in the Springbok setup?
Well, that's the really interesting part. It seems his ambition isn't out of step at all. It actually fits perfectly with the coaching philosophy.
Okay. How so?
Well, Rassie Erasmus, the head coach, he's been very clear. He's quoted saying, "You can be 36, but if you are the fittest 36-year-old, that's all that you need."
Wow. Straightforward.
Very. And Mzwandile, the assistant coach, he backs this up. He says coaches don't have the right to look at the age of a player. They won't force anyone out.
So it's not about the date on your birth certificate.
Not at all. It's about what you can still do, your output.
Okay, performance over age sounds great, but rugby's a tough game, especially for a flanker like Kolisi. How realistic is it really to stay the fittest 36-year-old with those physical demands week in, week out?
Yeah, and that's exactly the point they seem to address. Stick emphasizes the key things they look for. One is consistent production performing on the pitch.
Makes sense.
And the other, crucially, is handling the training load, which he calls very, very tough.
Uh-huh.
And they aren't just saying it. The article points to guys like Shock Brits, Dwayne Vermeulen.
Right, veterans who delivered big time at the last World Cup.
Exactly. Despite their age. It proves, as they say, age really doesn't matter that much if you're still performing.
And Kolisi himself.
Apparently, he recently recorded one of the best scores in the squad in some pretty demanding fitness tests. So he's walking the talk,
Impressive. It shows they really mean it. But what really elevates this for me is the strategy behind it all. It's not just being loyal to older players, is it?
No, not just that. It's a very deliberate plan by Rassie Erasmus to avoid what Kolisi actually calls a dark period for the BOKS.
A dark period. Tell me more about that.
Well, connecting the dots, Erasmus's plan involved constantly testing and building the squad depth. They want a smooth transition of talent, always.
Okay.
The numbers mentioned are quite revealing. They used 50 players in the 2024 season. 50.
Wow.
And already 46 players in just the first 4 games of 2025.
That's serious rotation.
It is. And Kolisi links this back to the time after the 2015 World Cup. He remembers a lot of experienced guys retiring all at once.
Ah, okay. Creating a vacuum.
Exactly. He called it a gulf of experience, and it led to a torrid run of results. It slid down the rankings. It's that classic problem a talent drain hits hard.
So Erasmus is basically trying to future-proof the team, build resilience against that kind of drop-off.
That's exactly how it looks. He's explicitly said his goal is to avoid that happening again, to leave the Springboks in a better place. It's very proactive, very long-term thinking.
It really is. You don't always see that level of strategic planning made so public.
And the article suggests it's done with a lot of transparency. Open conversations between coaches and players. They're balancing winning now, innovating.
Right.
With that crucial need to give opportunities too. It feels almost like corporate succession planning, but applied to a rugby team.
Yeah, ensuring that experience isn't just lost, but passed on and built upon. It's such a powerful idea. Thinking beyond rugby, How could this apply elsewhere? Maybe in business?
Hmm.
Instead of strict retirement ages, maybe focus on mentorship, flexible roles based on output, not just age, avoiding that dark period of losing vital knowledge. What do you, listening, think stands out about this long-term vision? How could other teams, or maybe other industries, learn from this? Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, we'd love to hear them.
And while you're thinking about it, just another reminder, hit subscribe on Rugby Obsession to keep getting these deep dives.
So if we pull it all together, what we're seeing with the Springboks is this really proactive strategy. It's not just about the next trophy. It's about building something sustainable.
A legacy.
Exactly, by valuing experience, empowering players based on performance, and deliberately building that depth to sidestep future slumps. It's a blueprint for staying at the top, really. Resilience built in.
It leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? Beyond rugby, how can any organization, any team, prepare for its own potential dark period? How do you strategically manage talent and focus on continuity to avoid those declines? Something to chew on.
Definitely.
Okay, one last time, please do subscribe to Rugby Obsession so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thank you so much for listening to this Rugby Obsession deep dive, and we look forward to you listening to our next episode.